Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving the higher praise, honor, glory is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Akrak with us. And double honors to the elders, sing honors to the apostles, preaching, teaching this word of truth. And with sincerity as always. Without any further ado, I just want to get into this lesson here, going into this third world war that's going to take place. It's basically already starting. Start with this article here. It reads here, Iran bows unprecedented retaliation to U.S. attack. So there's a title of that. Yeah, so there goes that. Iran bows unprecedented retaliation to U.S. attack. This other article here goes into, as U.S. warships get closer, Iran and allies ramp up retaliation threats. Iran and its malicious allies say they will respond aggressively in the region if attacked. A U.S. aircraft carrier and warships are approaching the region. This was on January 26, 2026. Article for this one reads from the Washington Post reads, Europe, titled Poland built the EU's biggest army, but the threat has changed. As European nations race to build their militaries, Poland has already bolstered its capabilities, but it prepared for conventional war, not hybrid threats like drones. So those are nations also outside of that. Iran and U.S. situation, because they're in the last two articles. Iran vows to retaliate if the U.S. attacks, and U.S. ships allegedly are getting closer. And once again, they're sending threats to U.S. if they attack. We will be ready. We will attack you back. Here, NATO. This is NATO. Poland has EU's biggest army. They got a big army, but they haven't prepared for threats like drones. Basically, it's saying there. This one reads. The title is Germany abandons European defense, why Berlin is betting big on U.S. military drones. Berlin's latest drone deal signals more than just a hardware upgrade. It may redefine Europe's defense priorities from the inside out. This was on January 19th, 2026. So this was last week, Monday, I think. Not that long ago. It says European defense policy is interesting. Yeah, they're preparing for war. It's Berlin, Germany. The post-2022 security environment has pushed governments to reevaluate procurement strategies, timelines, and dependencies. Shared ambitions for joint capability development remain formally intact, but implementation patterns are shifting under operational pressure. It says here, here's the point. Germany's 50 billion defense package passed by the whatever that is in December, addressing strategic gaps across air, land, sea, and space domains. It's basically their defense, military defense ain't all the way up there. Because they're saying this about their weapon there. About Europe, there, Germany, Berlin here, they're saying developed by Airbus, Leonardo, and whatever that is, has seen multiple delays since its inception and still lacks proven maritime ISR capability. Its immediate ISR needs appear misaligned with the platform's delivery schedule and mission scope. It's basically NATO's preparing for war. They're seeing this article's just about going into the flaws of Germany's defense. I don't even fully know. That's just what I got from that. I could be mistaken. But yeah, let's get a scripture here. We're going into the least of the flock. Jeremiah 50 and 45, it reads here, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon. Yeah, again, Jeremiah 50 and 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his proposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. The modern day Chaldeans is America today, with its allies, its top ally being the fake Israel over there. So-called Israel over there. Surely the least of the flock, that's Israel, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah. Because Israel's over there talking about bombing Iran. And ultimately it's all staged. I don't know for sure. I ain't confirming it. I don't got the evidence, but there is evidence. I mean, I personally believe that Iran is in on it too. The president, whatever you call him, the supreme leader of Iran. Forgot the exact word for it. Whatever, or the president, king, leader, whatever you want to call him, or I believe he's in on it. He knows that it's gonna happen. He probably knows a certain exact date or year and month for when it's actually gonna go more crazy, I guess, lack of better words. I personally would bet on that. I bet 100 on that. I bet you he would know. But you don't know either, so I could be wrong, I could be right. You can bet on it. If you're a betting man, you don't know either if he's in on it or not, because I got a video that I'm gonna play showing that Maduro, that was actually all a psyop. It was all fake. And I got evidence for it in this video that I just found. I didn't make it, but somebody made it, and the evidence is hard fact. Hard body, hard fact. So do what you will with it. You decide on if it's fake or not. You decide if they're controlling all the wars, all the sides of these wars. I know this for sure. Vladimir Putin is in on it. He wants to play the side like he's better than the U.S. or whatever, but he's not any better. Ultimately, you got to be preaching. Ultimately, to have the power he has, especially that he has, you have to be in league with them, or eventually he would already have been killed. All right, because you can look at Gaddafi. Whenever he went, there's a video was where he's on and at the UN meetings, and they're just like looking down on him, laughing at him, and all that stuff. Okay, because they looking at him like he's crazy, like he's bugged out, because he really didn't belong there. He was actually trying to help the people and give a lot of the money from that land, Libya, I believe it was, back to the people. So they didn't like him. They disagreed with him. They took his ass out because he didn't belong there. This is a wicked system. You're gonna be set up as a king and ruler in some country. It's no different from how they got these celebrities locked in, boxed in into their system. If they go off, speak out of line, do something out of line, they take them out. It's just they do the same thing with your presidents, your kings, and really puppet rulers in each country, each state, especially the big ones, especially the ones that got a lot of resources, money. If they step out of line, go out of line, they take them out. They take them out, and it's not hard for them to do so because this is the devil's kingdom. And I'm gonna play that video in a minute. Just have some patience. But anyway, this is Job 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof, if not aware who he is. That's what happens when the wicked is in power. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. Yeah, he blasphemed the Lord. And shall wear out the saints of the Most High. And think to change times and laws. Yep, they change times and laws. Yep. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Yep. But these devils have a short time. That's the thing about it. But basically these elites, the Jews, basically pedophiles, Jews. So basically, all your rich billionaires who have more freedom and liberty and benefits, they may not be the top elites on the top of that whole pyramid at the very top. Basically, those other minor elites, most of them are Jews, pedophiles, of course, pedophiles and Jews and fake Jews, I should say, because they're not the real Jews. Hence why this word is also going to be shut down soon. Hence why other pandemics and other devious and devilish plans are coming to the mix soon in 2026. Whatever time and date they have those set up for to do, they're in that set order section there. That we're gonna do that, fill that, do that, accomplish that. And come on, man. That's what the fuck they're gonna do. So get down or lay down. right? Unless you trust in your God that much, yo Allah that much, yo Yahweh that much, yo Yahweh Shai that much, your Jesus Christ that much, your woman that much, your yourself that much, whatever you believe in and trust in, man. Get ready to hold on and lock in with that source, power source, man. So they're coming down. They don't give a fuck about anybody or anything. Whatever is in their way will get the fuck out of their way. And that's how it goes with this devil rolls. It's Revelation, anyway, it's Revelation 12 and 12. Let's to this one here. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you that who dwell in them. Woe to inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, we just said who those devils are. It's up for you to agree with that or not agree with that. Roll with that and agree with that, not roll with that, still agree with that. We'll see. For the devil has come down to you having great wrath, because he knows he has a short time, and I see a big 10 on that. And I gotta get Revelation 2 and 9. I know that works in tribulation and poverty. It's the Lord speaking to his people, his elect, whoever they may be, the saints, who are the prophets, starting with the prophets, the top of the elect, the governing body of the 1/3 of the elect. But thou art rich, starting with them, and the regular elect as well. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. So they're fulfilling prophecy. Ultimately, the Lord's making them fulfill his script. Now they're too proud to admit that. They don't believe that. But this is what it is. And are not. So they're not the real Jews. To them, they're not the real Jews, but are the synagogue of Satan. The synagogue is basically the chief temple, the main temple, the top headquartered temple. And that synagogue of Satan there would be over there in the land of Israel. Here's 10. I gotta get verse 10 as well. And it reads, Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. And behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried. This has to happen through a enforced military coup against U.S. citizens here in America. That's going to happen. Yeah. If you don't believe that, that's on you. I'm sure there's still people out there, Americans out there, simple peon Americans out there. Your elites know it. Your billionaires know it. They won't be shy to boast it. If you were to go up to ask them that question, they'll give those dumbass bottom Edomites that proud ass fucking smile and tell them in their face. Yeah. That's definitely gonna be us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they would tell it to your face if you were to go and ask them. So that's on you, stupid ass Edomites, bottom level Edomites, 2-time loser Edomites in your kingdom. Who wouldn't believe that, man? Yeah. So you either have the balls or don't have the balls of John Wayne. I'll just have to see. Bruce Lee, Bruce Wayne, shit like that, bro. Anyway, verse 9, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan, Hashatan, meaning the deceiver. It says right here, cast them into prison that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. John. Crown of life right there. Because they don't want to see Israelites on top. Why do you think there's no such thing as a nigga billionaire? Yeah, let's see how much money Jay-Z has. $2.5 billion, it says. How much money does Elon Musk have? And I'm gonna play the clip in a minute. Just bear with me. Yeah. Elon Musk. It says Elon Musk has 619 billion. Yeah, and Jay-Z just has 2 billion. All right. Dre, Dr. Dre, 850 million. Dr. Dre has 850 million. It says. Now, how much money does Drake have? Let's see. 400 million. How much money does Snoop Dogg have? You would think Snoop Dogg would have more, right? He only has 160 million. So basically, Jay-Z is, I think of Jay-Z, he's probably the most rich rapper. Nigga to do it. He's probably the richest nigga to do it is Jay-Z. Which they said has 2 billion. 2.5 billion. Elon Musk has 619 billion. So it's all, but it's all just nigga money, man. Nigga pennies, man. And that's because they trust Jay-Z, man. They trust him. Jay-Z is a sellout. He sold out his true power, Yahweh, to worship the Edomite god, Amalekite god, Molech, Baphomet, Chemosh, Ishtar, Iris, Horus, many names to it, whatever you want to call their gods. But yeah, Revelation 3 and 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan. That's the fake Jews over there. They're top Jews, they're top elites. Ultimately going into their top elites, because once again, synagogue is the top of that temple. The synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet. So one day those elites are going to bow down to Yahweh Shai and many others, man, who are of his nation, the nation of Israel, the man of the nation of Israel. That's gonna be the new order, the old order, but being brought back in a newer fashion. The Most High's new world order, which is gonna be new. It's gonna be new as well, technically speaking, because no eye has seen, no ear has heard what the Lord has done to us. If you haven't seen something like that you end up, that's gonna come to you, that means it's something new. So the Most High's new world order. I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Come. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. It's going to be when the MOTB comes out, when Jacob's trouble is fully here. It's not fully here yet. But it's definitely coming quickly. Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. God. So I'm going to play these clips going into just showing you basically how they control everything. This whole third world, it's all fake too. It's not going to be real. But at some point, it's that the death and the destruction that it's gonna come upon people is definitely gonna be real. That's not gonna be CGI. They're definitely gonna be taking Israelites, killing people, even the Edomites, even the heathen. And yeah, I look up Agenda 21 to reduce the population to 500 million. That was in the Georgia Guidestones as well. They say it's about 9 billion people now in the world. So what better way to take people out than to use a nuclear war on cities, on populations? Where people is living, where people are living. So basically it's all staged, and we're gonna play these videos here for you. So the first one I'm gonna play is about the Maduro one. Basically showing you how that shit right there was fake. That wasn't real. That was staged. That wasn't. Maduro's basically was just an actor. He shook his hands. He made a deal with the devil, and though that was his deal, he's probably in hiding somewhere now in Cuba or something, Canada or something, and yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read the subheading. It says, "Funny how dictators always share the same destiny, especially the ones with the same face." Like basically, looks like they got a side-to-side photo of them that looks like Saddam Hussein, basically. And that's what I noticed too. That's what you probably noticed as well. But this is the confirmation right here. This is the confirmation that the nigga was an agent here. That's basically that one, and here's another one, just showing you Maduro was basically this was fake. It basically shows you they told you it was a live demonstration. They told you what you saw was real. But what if the button pressed by the defense minister, it basically shows the guy pushing the button. The camera caught it. And either way, like right there, he's showing you he's wearing the Freemasonic necklace there. That explosion wasn't triggered in real time. The footage was pre-recorded. The button was a prop, and the minister was an actor in a carefully staged show of force. This isn't just about one press conference. It's about the entire architecture of modern authority. Symbols over substance, perception over power. They don't need real missiles. They need you to believe they have them. And sometimes a dummy button and some edited footage are cheaper, safer, and more effective than the real thing. They rely on your trust in the image, the uniform, the podium, the dramatic music, the explosion in the distance. All orchestrated to evoke emotion, not evidence. While you're feeling impressed, you're not asking, what was that really live? They'll let you laugh at it later now how easily he deceived many people, because laughter after the fact means you're not angry. You're not demanding accountability. You're just chuckling at the trick. The lesson is clear. When a leader performs an act of power on camera, assume it's a performance. The truth isn't in the explosion, it's in the edit. Here, this is here, video here.
De la recuperación económica y y necesitado.
There was the bodyguard laughing right there.
Ha llegado la hora de la...
There's the video. You can also see no one looks surprised or shocked. Yeah, and the reason why they do that is they want to show you the truth while they lie. Like this guy said here. He's right here. Just reading some of the comments here. Yeah, because this goes once again back to 2 Thessalonians. That they should believe a lie. And I could get 2 Corinthians as well, 2nd chapter. Verse 11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. As well as 2 Thessalonians 2 here. Starting at verse 9. Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So yeah, President Maduro there, he was just a puppet. He took a deal, and that was all. The whole thing was all staged. And they don't hide it. They don't want to hide it. That's the whole point. They don't want to hide it, or basically they basically try to. They try to hide it, but sometimes they just give up. Their tricks are so cheap that they just give up and put it out there. Allow it to be put out there. And now that we have it, when they brought and released the internet and phones and YouTube, more of their shit has been exposed. So it's not like they haven't tried to hide it. On top of that, you had whistleblowers and people on the inside expose their ass. So yeah, and that's why they killed him. Eventually, they killed their asses before their word spreads too quickly, or before they can gain any power, following. They take them out, and ultimately, it's the Lord's will that they keep their power. It's not really anything that they do. It's the Lord's will that they're able to keep line. And yeah, man, you already know. So yeah, this is once again, this is going back to 2 Thessalonians 2:9. Even him is coming as after the working of Satan. Satan means adversary. Hashatan, devil means deceiver, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So yeah, a lot of people, they don't wake up to the truth. They don't have they can't wake up to the truth. They don't have the truth. It's not given to them to wake up to the truth, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So that's what you have here. Let's go back. I got a couple more clips. Start with this one here.
Office wanted us to destabilize the Middle East, turn it upside down, make it under our control. I went through the Pentagon 10 days after 9/11. I went downstairs, I was leaving the Pentagon, and an officer from the Joint Staff called me into his office, and he said, I want you to know, he said, sir, we're going to attack Iraq. And I said, why? He said, we don't know. He said, I said, well, did they tie Saddam to 9/11? He said, no. And then I came back to the Pentagon about 6 weeks later. I saw the same officer. I said, why haven't we attacked Iraq? We're still going to attack Iraq? He said, oh, sir, he says, it's worse than that. He pulled up a piece of paper off his desk. He said, I just got this memo from the Secretary of Defense's office that says we're going to attack and destroy the governments in 7 countries in 5 years. We're going to start with Iraq, and then we're going to move to Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. I said, is that a classified memo? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, don't show it to me. This country was taken over by a group of people with a policy coup. This wasn't what the American people voted George Bush into office. Well, they didn't actually vote him into office. They wanted us to destabilize the Middle East, turn it upside down, make it under our control. I went through the Pentagon 10 days after 9/11. I went downstairs, I was leaving the Pentagon, and an officer from the Joint Staff called me into his office, and he said, I want you to know, he said, sir, we're going to attack Iraq. And I said, why? He said, we don't know. He said, I said, well, did they tie Saddam to 9/11? He said, no. And then I came back to the Pentagon about 6 weeks later. I saw the same officer. I said, why haven't we attacked Iraq? We're still going to attack Iraq? He said, oh, sir, he says, it's worse than that. He pulled up a piece of paper off his desk. He said, I just got this memo from the Secretary of Defense's office that says we're going to attack and destroy the governments in 7 countries in 5 years. We're going to start with Iraq, and then we're going to move to Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. I said, is that a classified memo? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, don't show it to me. This country was taken over by a group of people with a policy coup. This wasn't what the American people voted George Bush into office. Well, they didn't actually vote him into office. He pulled up a piece of paper off his desk. He said, I just got this memo from the Secretary of Defense's office that says we're going to attack and destroy the governments in 7 countries in 5 years. We're going to start with Iraq, and then we're going to move to Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Iran. I said, is that a classified memo? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, don't show it to me.
So you notice this last one was Iran, so, and that's already what you've been seeing taking place right now. With this whole Iran and the U.S., I just got those articles earlier in the video. U.S. Military ship carriers, whatever that shit's called going near Iran, and Iran setting threats to U.S. that they're ready to retaliate if the U.S. attacks. So just read that article earlier.
All are bankers' wars. All wars wars are about making a profit for the 1% by consuming the 99%. Iraq was a banker's war. All wars also have a very strong Zionist component. Let me say first that banks are a massive form of legalized crime. Banks basically create money out of thin air for the 1%. They just create $1 billion for themselves out of nothing. They just say, we have $1 billion, and everybody believes them. And then they lend this $1 billion to people and charge interest. So they're creating money and earning interest they don't deserve. Banks are a complete fraud. Countries need to take responsibility for their currency. They should not be allowing the Rothschilds and the Vatican and the Chabad Jews to control their economy. As one very famous banker said one day, I don't care who makes the laws. If I manage the money, I'm making the laws. All wars are bankers.
And in the dream, he predicted 3 world wars. The first world war, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The first world war must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel and Palestine. He's now thinking about this Third World War, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. And in the dream, he predicted 3 world wars. And in the dream...
I'm sure you heard that. I'm sure you can add the pieces together to the last videos.
Right, so I keep telling you about this fake news.
And here's the last clip right here.
Let's have a look at this. Look at the size, look at she's carrying those.
Woman was caught carrying war rubble with just one hand. Yeah. She was basically setting the scene to make it look like it was just got exploded and you had rubble there basically.
Look to concrete with one hand. Who's she? Fucking She-Hulk.
The footage, all the footage has been faked. They've never filmed it there. And only care about the money. That's why they lied to you. Getting random women to carry war rubble. Yeah.
Right, so I keep telling you about this fake news, right? Let's have a look at this. Look at the size, look at she's carrying those buckets of concrete with one hand.
Yeah, it just showed you right there, so. I mean, that's the point there of, really, that's the point. But, guess I'll get a couple more articles. I'll just read some of these. Germany's abandons, yeah, you read that one. Iran locks into darker digital blackout as Israel issues renewed warning. Going back once again to the video, they said Iran would be last. Or that it was a ex-military general who blew the whistle on their plans. And going back to Albert Pike's letter, connect the dots.
Iran makes a mistake and attacks us, we will act with a force that Iran has not yet experienced. No one can predict what the future holds for Iran, but one thing is clear. Whatever happens, Iran will not return to what it was.
The remarks come as Israel's chief of...
Yeah, they're saying Iran would not return to what it was. Yeah, they already planning to, because Iran's already technically, I believe the president, their supreme leader there, still called supreme leader over there. He's already a Zionist. And it all had to be done gradually, so you people wouldn't buck up. This is another article. Ukraine receives over 400 armored vehicles from however you say that. So this is preparing for war. It's all fulfilling this prophecy though as well at the same time. WW3 9-10, and proclaiming this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, let the weak say I am strong. Once again, this is a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled, that is being fulfilled right now. Is this one here? The title is Israel's air defenses are ready for Iran. Claims to the contrary are false. This was on last week, like 9 days ago. Here, Pentagon readies 1,500 soldiers from Alaska to, yeah, that's going into something else. Civil war. German military withdraws soldiers from Greenland. South Korea is reinventing the tank, going into the Taiwan-China situation. As well, this one here, going into NATO 2 weeks ago, presence in Poland.
Of a collective defense. We are all from different nations with different allegiances, but we have one thing in common, and that is our mission to protect the Eastern Front of NATO.
Once again, going into preparing for war, WW3 9-10. 4,000 U.S. soldiers deployed to Norway for Arctic exercise. The United States is now drawing down its forces, training with NATO allies inside Arctic Circle amid turmoil over Trump's threats to seize control of Greenland. Germany joined European partners. This was on January 14th this year. Partners with troop deployment to Greenland. And that's the point, basically. Yeah, so so that's the main thing on this lesson. The wars are fake. So they want the wars to happen. So it's usually when they want something, it's gonna happen. Also, it's ultimately the Lord's will that He wants this shit to happen. So it's gonna happen eventually. I don't know how long or when it will take place, but this is the end times. It's definitely the end times. Just brought the scriptures and the evidence and the articles and the stuff to prove it to you. Whoever watches this video, listens to this video, cries to the video, I don't know, stuff like that, man. I have bodies that cry and shit, bro. All shit like that, man. Shalom, hopefully it's edifying and blah blah blah.